What's good, YouTube? Today we have 6 new cards for 3 archetypes, 2 for each. We're going to go over the Trickstars, the Cyverse, and the Goukis. So the first one is going to be the Trickstars, and Lilybell here is very, very good. And we'll go back over the archetype a bit to remind you how good this card is with them. So Lilybell is a Light Fairy effect, level 2, 800/2000. That big booty doesn't matter as much as her attack though, because you can only use this card's first effect once per turn. If this card is added to your hand, except by drawing it, you can special summon this card from your hand, and there's plenty of ways to do that already. Number 2, this card can attack directly. That's where the extra damage comes in. And effect 3, when this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can target one Trickstar monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. So they have star in the name. It's Trickstar because they're actually kind of like idols. So if we go over here and go over their older cards that were announced before, you may have heard this on the channel already, but we have Trickster Candina. And she's a level 4 1800/400, and that 1800 attack does remind you of Stratos. So will this affect, when this card is normal summoned, you can add a Trickster card from your deck to the hand. So I think it's Trickstars instead of Urs now. Each time your opponent activates a spell/trap card, inflict 200 damage to your opponent. And then we have Trickster Light Stage, which I think is Trickstar. When this card is activated, you can add a Trickstar monster from your deck to your hand. So again, both of these effects can work with the new monster. Once per turn, you can target a card in your opponent's spell and trap zone while this card is on the field zone. That card cannot be activated until the end phase, and during the end phase, your opponent either chooses to activate it there or send it to the graveyard. That's pretty good. And effect 3, each time a Trickstar monster you control inflicts damage to your opponent, inflict 200 more damage to your opponent. So that does mean by battle as well. Very, very good synergy overall with these two cards. They both search, and of course we have their boss monster here as well, Trickster Holy Angel, and you need 2 Trickster monsters for it. So she basically automatically enables with your quote-unquote Stratos here, Candina, automatically enables this to hit the field, and her effect is each time a Trickster monster is normal or special summoned to this card's link zones, inflict 200 damage, so not the most relevant there. Number 2 effect, a Trickster monster linked by this card cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect. That's very good for your little tiny 800 poker. And number 3, when your opponent takes damage from a Trickstar monster effect, this card gains attack equal to the amount of damage until the end of this turn. So it works really well with your tiny little 2000. But this card is way more impressive. Trickstar Reincarnation. It's a normal trap, and the first effect is not archetype specific at all. It's crazy. This is probably the best release out of all 6 of these cards. Banish as many cards from your opponent's hand as possible, and if they do, they draw the same amount of cards from the deck. So opening turn, that's 6 cards, or you can just save it for a moment when you, if you know the route their deck is going, you can save it for a moment where you're going to want to hit their hand and give them less cards and less chances to like come back out. This card is really, really insane for its potential. Deck out decks have always been a thing, and this is a huge enabler. It's not hard once per turn, anything like that. It's, oh, how do you just make these effects like that, Konami? And number 2, you can banish this card from the graveyard, then target one Trickstar monster in your graveyard, special summon it. So a kind of Call the Haunted that's not attached, that got an additional effect already. Definitely great for the archetype, almost exactly like everything seems to be going right for the Trickstars. Now, the next are the Goukis, and then I'll get to the Cyverse. The Goukis, I don't think are headed in the right direction. So, our new wrestling dude here, our Gouki Rising Scorpio, is a level 5 Earth-type warrior monster, attack 2300 and defense 0. He goes with the beat-downish kind of effect of, you can only use the second effect once per turn, but the first effect, if you control no monsters, or if all monsters you control are Gouki, you can normal summon this card without tributing, because he's a 5. It just doesn't feel that good to me. 2300 normal summon. We're kind of past those days, aren't we, of Goblin Attack Force. The second effect is, if this is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add a Gouki card from your deck to your hand, except for Rising Scorpio. That's pretty good, and the spell's a lot better than him. This is a Gouki rematch. normal spell card. You can only activate a card with this card's name once per turn, so it's limited to a 1 per turn play. Target 2 Gouki monsters in your graveyard with different levels, special summon them in defense position. Should enable links really well, or to be able to come back and do extra plays. The different levels hurts for like Xyz plays. It's keeping you to kind of that beat down strategy. So limitations are never good, and this card has 2 of them. 2 limitations in 1 card versus, you know, that new broken trap card with no limitations, and yeah. So if we go back over the old Goukis and see how it fits in, it just, I don't know. I don't think it's helping turbo to this guy, because this guy takes is a Link 3, and it takes a minimum of 2 Gouki monsters. So I don't think it's helping much that it's a level 5, even though it normal summons. It's rough for the Goukis. It's looking right now. I had a lot of high hopes, and that kind of dashes them a bit. It's looking like the Trickstars are a bit better. This idle burn group. But let's go over the older Goukis to see what we can try to figure out here. We have Gouki Suplex here. He's a warrior effect 1800, and you can only use this card's effect once per turn, or both of the effects once per turn. I guess it's the second effect once per turn. This card is sent from the field to the graveyard. You can add a Gouki card from your deck to your hand, except Suplex. So it helps, you know, every time they're sent to the graveyard, they help out the entire deck. When this card is normal summon, you can special summon a Gouki monster from your hand. No level limitation there. So maybe 2300 helps a bit with him. But then we have Gouki Twist Cobra. You can only use these effects during either player's turn. You can tribute 1 Gouki monster, then target 1 Gouki monster you control. That monster gains attack to the equal to the tributed monster's attack until the end of the turn. And then because all of them have the second effect, I guess you can get some utility out of it. But the boss monster, I don't think it helps bring him out at all. All monsters on the field lose attack equal to their original defense, and of course all your defenses are 0, including your Link monster, because Link monsters have no defense, so it's not very good against other Link monsters. And if this card would be destroyed by battle or card effects, you can destroy one of this card's Link monsters instead. So the new one's just, the spell is really good, but it has 2 limitations, so that kind of hurts it, and the new monster just doesn't seem to help them turbo any, so I feel like it's going to be a bit of a slow deck. Now, there's big hope for the Cyverse from me. The first card doesn't seem good at first, but I guess, depending on what other Cyverse are released, it could have the potential to start comboing with other Cyverse. We have a level 3, 1200, 800. This is Backup Secretary. You can only special summon 1 card with this card's name per turn. With the way it's written. So basically, you can only use the effect special summon once per turn. If you control a Cyverse type monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. And it's a 3. I don't think there's no other utility for this card besides specialing it to the field. It's hard to see that it'll be good. So many other cards do that in the game already with additional effects. And yeah, I just can't see it. But the second card does give me a lot of hope for future Link mechanic kind of things. And let's get a specific screen capture on him, because he's kind of stuck here in no man's land, because he's the bottom of the screen. So here we have our buddy, and his name is let me get this for you guys. Wow, he does not want to stretch out. There we go. This is Stack Reviver. He's a Dark Cyverse / effect, level 2. He's only got 100 attack and 600 defense, but and you can only use this effect once per duel, so it is a rough effect. If this card was used as a material for a Link summon, you can target a level 4 or lower Cyverse type monster in your graveyard that was used as a material for the summon, except this card, and special summon in defense position. So it helps you continue plays for Xyz or more Link monsters after doing your initial Link summoning, but it is limited to once per duel, and it's a level 2 as well, so it's not like you can 1-for-1 it out. But it just gives me kind of hope for future mechanics of like the Link like interaction of the game. And you know, it's the first set, so they're not gonna put the most busted stuff in to make the mechanic broken right away, but it gives me hope for where they're thinking ahead and what they'll be doing ahead with the game. So definitely the Trickstars are the best cards. This card is insane. The Trickstar Reincarnation, and I guess it's Trickstar instead of Trickster now. really good 2 cards for them. Only 1 solid card for the Goukis, in my opinion, and that's the spell. And it has 2 limitations. And then the Cyverse, both of them are okay. I think this one has the better potential. But again, that once per duel kind of effect, is it that broken to deserve once per duel? Let me know in the comment section below what you think. And give us a thumbs up if you want to keep hearing about new cards as they come out from Japan.